my vantage point, I wasn't sure exactly what they were calling for. Might have been some contact in the back.
If the play stands, it will be short of the first down.
The way it's looking like it's going to be against the Redhawks. Saw a few hands go up by them.
Wow, personal foul, unnecessary roughness against Montclair State.
As I saw, as soon as the refs got done their conference, a bunch of the Redhawks threw their arms up, asking questions about what it was. That personal foul sets them back quite a bit when they were in prime opportunity to take a lead.
So the penalty will push the ball back to the 34-yard line. We did not see where that infraction occurred because the play was going away from where the penalty marker was thrown. One receiver to each side of the formation. It's a 1st and 25 now. Davies will dump it off into the flat near side for Nieves, makes one man miss at the 25, barrels over a defender, and then over another near the 22-yard line. So they get back a decent chunk of that yardage to set up second down.
Jared Sanchez and John Albecker on the tackle.
Big penalty called against the Redhawks. They're able to come back for that. Profs defense, this is a big stop for them. If they can stop them here, can really boost them. But of course, if they get let up after having that 1st and 20, it can be very hurtful for them moving forward.
It's a gain of 12. 2nd and 13. Still no score. 11-11 left to go. First quarter. Trips left, 2 to the near side. Davies, shotgun snap. Moving out to his right. Throws out of bounds. Pressure coming from a few directions there for the Profs. Dylan DeVita, one of the closest Profs there to pressure Ryan Davies.
There comes that pressure that we've been talking about of the Profs defense being able to make throws happen before the quarterback wants them.
3rd and 13.
That putting the pressure on the Redhawks here to convert a 3rd and long. It'll be 3rd and 13. Let's see how risky the play call will be here for the Redhawks. It'll be an eye set, one receiver to each side. Davies will throw again. Looks over the middle, doesn't have anybody. Slides to the left and has that ball deflected off the hands and arm of Nieves. Lucky that wasn't intercepted, and now it'll be 4th down. And this is right on the edge of field goal range for a good chunk of kickers in Division III football. You're looking at about a 40-yard field goal try here.
And that's one thing that the Redhawks are debating right now. They're looking all over, trying to figure out what they're going to actually do.
It's a bit of a crosswind here. The kicker is Frank Schneeberger. And it looks like Mr. Schneeberger will head out for a kick. Well, now they'll call timeout. So the Redhawks call their first timeout with 10:54 left to go in the first quarter of action. No score between the Profs and the Redhawks. Bob, early thoughts here from this drive by Montclair State.
Montclair is showing exactly what we thought them to. They're coming out aggressive. They're trying to get those short throws to really push the markers and really take advantage of this game. They're trying to show the Profs defense that they are forced to be reckoned with, and being able to push down the line creates their confidence and really shows their defense we can beat them.
The Redhawks started this drive out after a penalty right near the 30-yard line. And they have moved the football effectively into Rowan territory. Hit a snag, though, after that personal foul call, which turned potentially what would have been about a 2nd and 3 into a 1st and 25. They could not cash in, and now we will see Frank Schneeberger. The spot will be at the right hash. A 40-yard field goal try for Schneeberger. Spotted, kicked on the way, has plenty of leg. The kick is up, and the kick is no good. Wide right.
It was just a little bit wide. It had the height and the distance to get through, just was unable to get that accuracy. Wind being a big factor in that, as the wind is blowing towards us exactly where the ball came short.
Rowan's offense will take over with 10:49 left to go. First quarter, no score.
And here's a big counter opportunity for the Profs. Montclair drove all the way down the field. If the Profs can drive it right back down and get some points, it really puts Montclair back on their heels.
So early on, the first big battle of the contest, advantage Rowan defense. Rowan's offense will start out with a 1st and 10 from their 22. One back set. It'll be a handoff left side. Marcelin gets dragged down right near the 22-yard line.
A little bit of a collapse right there. Two defenders were able to get through the line and got on Marcelin right as he got the carry.
Michael Klimek, one of the Redhawks, near the tackle there. They will officially call it a no gain. 2nd and 10. We'll go through Rowan starters on offense in a moment. This time it'll be a shotgun set. Bit of a read option look. Thrown out to the far side. The reception made by Russ Fortune. Fortune with the catch short of the first down. And the football will be marked at the 26-yard line of Rowan. So they'll have 6 yards to go here on 3rd down. Rowan on 3rd downs, converting them at a 37% clip. And we are going to have a penalty here, it looks like, against Rowan. A prof ran off the field late. May have had too many men on the field.
That's a bad penalty for the Profs to take. Early on, they had the chance to come back and start really taking some control of the game. But if they go 3 and out here, it really just puts that much more confidence in the Montclair team that has been struggling of late.
There is some mystery on what you're going to do with a 3rd and 6. 3rd and 11. Makes it a little bit tougher on the Profs than it does the Redhawks defense, potentially. Pistol set here for Rowan. 2 receivers near side. It's a 3rd and 11 from the 21. It'll be a swing pass and well over the head of Whit Marcelin. That throw in the flat came out hot.
And that's where we're talking about the pressure of what happens on 3rd down for this Profs team. Being down, especially like that, and the flash blitz that came at him too, really made it so then a quick throw had to be made, and Marcelin had no idea where it was going to.
Redhawks defense forces a 3 and out. Rowan's first possession will result in a punt by Mark Diedrichsen, and that's a low punt. Bounces at the 40 of Rowan, takes a nice turf hop here at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium, and dies at the 41-yard line. So it could have turned out a lot worse for the Rowan defense. The Redhawks, though, will be set up with pretty decent field position in a scoreless game.
That ball did bounce at least 10 yards, which would have made it a first down at the 50. Which would have put the Profs defense in a very tough point.
It's a 1st and 10. Redhawks football, 2nd possession for Montclair State. 1 receiver to each side, offset eye. Davies will put it up again. Throws one long downfield, and that is incomplete.
Was just 5 yards too deep as he was trying to get it up. And really, any closer, it actually could have been picked off. Great defensive coverage.
Rowan's secondary has been very good through the first 2 games. That pass intended for Jaquan Spann. Two receivers each side. Shotgun set. Nieves joins Davies in the backfield. Snap goes to Davies. Looks, throws, it's caught by Nieves. Nieves spins forward to the 44-yard line. He is wrapped up and brought down by John Barillo. The offense tonight for the Redhawks goes like this. The tight end is DJ Pandolfo. The left tackle is Charles Griffin. The left guard is Dan Giangrande. The center is Matt McDonough. The right guard is Jason Advizian. The right tackle is Justin Advizian. The receivers are Aaron Williams along with Nick Suravilla. The deep back, the running back, Denzel Nieves, along with Zach Ligori, the fullback, and the quarterback is Ryan Davies. Four receivers on a 3rd and 7. Two to each side. Davies will look, will throw, and it is, well, it's caught and then dropped. Now let's see if they call that a fumble. He did not corral it right away, and it's ruled incomplete. He never had control of that football. 4th down.
As he jumped in the air, he was able to get both hands on the ball, but as he was bringing it to his body, able to get control of that, he was hit and the ball was still jumbling around in his hands. Really, once he hit the ground, the ball just popped out.
What a turnout here tonight at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium. Fans continuing to file in, and what they're seeing so far, 0-0 game, 8:15 remaining. Punt off to the right here, near side, near the 30-yard line, as Hunter Daly, the punter, kicks that one off to the right side, and it'll be right near the 32-yard line. Rowan's offense will come out for their second drive. Fans amped up. One of the fans actually carrying a sign just now that said Montclair State pays for tender.
Yeah, I saw that sign.
Sick burn, bro. Two receivers to the right side. Marcelin, the deep back, on a 1st and 10 from the 32. Marcelin has some room across the 35 to the 36-yard line. That'll be a gain of 4 for Marcelin, the program's all-time leading rusher.
Gain of 4 yards on the play, 2nd and 6.
Right now hoping to see a different side of the Profs offense, coming in 3 and out the first time with also a penalty. Hoping to make it a clean slate here as they push up the field.
7:40 left to go. First quarter, no score between the Profs and the Redhawks. Two receivers to the right. Pickney under center. Handoff again, Marcelin. Makes one man miss. Brings it to the near side, 40, 45, down the sideline, 50. Into Montclair State territory. He is ripped down to the turf by Bill Shimko. However, there is a penalty flag down back at the 44-yard line of Rowan.
I believe they're going to call that holding on the Profs.
You are correct, sir.
As Marcelin was coming around, you saw that one of the defenders, wasn't sure exactly who it was on the outside, was tied up just a little bit and was taken down to the ground.
Instead of a first down run near the 45 of Montclair State, it will be a 2nd and 8 after the spot foul with the ball at the 34 of the Profs. Fans trying to get their team amped up here. Play action fake, thrown out right, caught. The catch by the tight end, Matt Hughes. Good enough for a first down. Pickney got popped as he let it go, but the reception made.
Great move there by Hughes, able to do a cut route, and was able to open up a lot of room for him to get that pass.
The Rowan offense picking up a first down at the 43-yard line. They'll continue the drive with two receivers to the right, an offset eye. Handoff up the middle with Marcelin. Marcelin to the 47. That'll be a gain of 4. A scrum. as Marcelin trying to get his way out of the pile.
There was a hole at the beginning of the run, but once Witt was able to get through it, it just collapsed right on top of him. Wasn't any room to escape out.
Flip the formation this time. Move the two receivers to the near side. Offset eye. Pinckney under center. 2nd and 6 from the 48-yard line of Rowan. Handoff Marcelin. Marcelin trying to break it off. Does so. Still on his feet. Has the first down to the 40 near the 39-yard line of Montclair State. Looks like they'll actually stop him at the 41. Another first down for the Profs.
Marcelin right up the gap again, throwing the same play on the other side, but this time he was able to break a tackle and get to that outside and really confuse the Montclair defense. They were all going right towards that pile in the middle, but really he was already gone on the outside.
Kevin Leonard heading into the game. 1st and 10 from the 41 of MSU. Hand off again and breaking through into the backfield. The stop made there by Joe Folletto. He wasn't fooled on that try. Drop back at the 46.
Loss of 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 15.
Blocking broke down there, Bob.
Yes, it did. Able to get through, and Marcelin is actually sitting this down out right now.
Dante Tobler heads into the game. 1 receiver to each side. Offset eye. 2nd and 15 from the 46. Play action. Pinckney slides left and then throws it wide of Jasim Rover. Rover was open. Throw just a bit wide.
3rd and 15.
More substitutions. Jamel Smith heading in. Leonard out.
On the previous drive, you saw Montclair two downs in a row able to get pressure, and Pinckney just not able to get his throws where he wants to go in pressure. The signs of the young quarterback.
It is a 3rd and 15 from the Red Hawks 46. Pinckney out of the shotgun, throws over the middle. It's caught. Breaking away from defender. Stiff arm. Down at the 25 near the 24. Shimko with the tackle. That is a first down catch made by Todd Gilliam.
And once again, pressure, but Pinckney this time able to find the opening through the arms of the defender, and a beautiful pass to get through. And once he got the pass too, was able to trick out one defender, fell down, and almost was able to break the second tackle.
4:25 and ticking. Fresh set of downs for the Profs. On the move in Montclair State territory. 2 receivers flushed out to the right. Pinckney under center with a handoff. It will be Tobler taking the carry there. Coming up to make the tackle was Josh Brown. Brown, a senior defensive lineman, making the stop. 2 yards on the rush by Tobler. Tobler, one of the backs used to spell Whit Marcelin, who is back in the game.
Profs looking to do some damage here to the defense of Montclair, trying to get any type of penetration to get a touchdown.
Marcelin takes the handoff left side, spinning away, and has the 15-yard line, has a first down near the 13.
Good enough for a first down to move the chains once again.
Rowan's offense. Timely running by Marcelin. Big pass play to Todd Gilliam with a 1st and 10 from the Montclair State 13. 1 receiver to each side. Pinckney under center. Hand off Marcelin. Marcelin to the 5. Marcelin brought down right near the 5-yard line. That'll bring up 2nd down after a gain of 7.
Here is showing the difficulties for the Red Hawks defense, not being able to stop that run game and stopping them for a few yards is really showing now that Marcelin's able to get these yards deep in their zone.
2:45 left to go in the first quarter. Still no score, but the Profs knocking on the door. 2nd down. Handoff Marcelin. Marcelin runs into trouble off the right side, still falling forward. Maybe to the 4.
Marcelin carries for gain of 2 yards.
There'll be a couple of yards. Well, they'll call it a 3rd and 1 officially from the 4.
That's actually big for the Profs, even though it is still a 0-0. Being able to get this touchdown is a lot better than having that field goal, able to apply pressure to the Redhawks.
3rd and 1. Marcelin, the deep back, takes the handoff, and he gets met in the backfield by 3 defenders of the Redhawks. It's Josh Brown leading the welcoming committee. 4th down.
They read it exactly as it was drawn up. A run play again. They did not think that Pinckney was going to be able to throw that ball in that tight quarter with how many defense back. Not enough room to really for the wide receivers to open up any type of lanes. They sent everybody.
Tyler Knighton on for a field goal try. The loss moves the football back to the 7. And before we get a kick, we will get a timeout called by Rowan prior to Tyler Knighton attempting a field goal try. We saw Rowan's defense early on during Montclair State's first drive make a stop. This time, it's the other way around. The Montclair State defense, while they may give up points here, holds down the fort on a 3rd and 1.
Very much so, and that's where they really wanted to show up. Once again, we were talking about those 3rd down conversions. The Montclair State, even with the defense that they've been having this season, have been very good on that 3rd down. That's when they really come out and shine. And it was just shown right there. As they send with the blitz, they are very effective.
So far, the Profs outgaining the Redhawks 75-50 in total offense, while Rowan has held the ball a little bit longer here in the quarter. Tyler Knight on for a field goal try of 25 yards out of the hold of Jeff Rodriguez. That one splits the uprights. Tyler Knight gives Rowan a 3-0 lead. 1:15 remaining, first quarter action, as Knight puts Rowan out in front. The Profs don't get the touchdown they were looking for, but come away with 3. We'll use this opportunity to take a quick break and come back with more on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM right after this. The return is brought out past the 5, the 10, the 15, 20, out to the 30, near the 35-yard line. There's a marker down near the 21 on the return.
The Profs are signaling that it's against Montclair. Let's see if they're right about it.
And it's a hold against Montclair State.
So despite that run back, they're now being put before their 20.
And the Redhawks, as a result, Bob, you hit the nail on the head, backed up here to start this drive with 1:07 left to go. First quarter, Rowan up 3-0. Both offenses showing the ability to move the football, neither, though, able to punch it in for 6. 3-0 your score. I set one receiver to each side. for Davies and the offense. It'll be a handoff to Nieves, trying to get outside. He can't. Great job there by the Rowan defensive line, as that's Borkowski who comes up to make the tackle. The tackle brings about a 2nd and 11. Loss of 1 for Nieves. Nieves, one of the key factors for Montclair State being able to grab a share of the NJAC title. Remember, 3-way tie for the NJAC crown last year between Rowan, Montclair State, and Morrisville State, who's no longer in the league. Nieves takes the carry again. Better results this time. Near the 15, as we have 20 ticks left to go in the opening quarter.
Profs wanting to limit as much as they can get, trying again for another 3 and out, trying to keep the Montclair offense off the board and especially into their heads.
And that will do it for the first quarter. This Profs game summary brought to you by the Brown and Gold Gridiron Club. The Profs coming up with the only score of the quarter, a field goal by Tyler Knighton to give Rowan a 3-0 lead. The Rowan defense able to hold off Montclair State on their initial drive. Other than that, the defenses have come to play here through quarter number 1. We'll step out and come back with second quarter action here on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM after this. It is a 3-0 game. Rowan out in front. Start of the second quarter. Derek Jones and Bob Duncan with you for 89.7 from Coach Richard Wacker Stadium. Davies throws over the middle. It's caught, but to the 17-yard line and stopped short of the first down on 3rd and 6. The Red Hawks will have to punt.
Big stop for the Rowan defense, being able to shut them down early. The first drive gave the Montclair a lot of confidence moving forward. Now, going 3 and out twice in a row really sets them back in what their original game plan was.
Nick Soravilla made the catch, and he came up limping. Went off Gimpy to the sidelines. Daly on to punt. Somehow gets that one away from Jeff Rodriguez, who was coming in for the block. The punt is muffed. Trickling back near the 29-yard line. Smith had that ball go off his hands, went backwards, and then he retrieved it right before he headed out of bounds. Rowan and the offense back out.
Yeah, it was just an unfortunate bounce to where he was set up. He wasn't expecting the length of the punt, especially after the last one that he saw. So he was on his heels as he was trying to make that catch, and it just hit off of his wrist and just bounced the other way.
Dante Pickney and the Rowan offense back out. Pickney 3 of 5 so far, 35 yards through the air. He has an offset eye, one receiver to each side, 1st and 10 from the Rowan 29. Hand off to Marcelin. Marcelin, not much doing there. Drop back near the 30. And this is going to be one of the parts of this game where we'll see what the Rowan offense has up their sleeve, because the Red Hawks, over the years, they've given Rowan some fits from their aspect on the defensive side. You look at a lot of the recent scores. The game last year was 20-16 in favor of Montclair. Year before that, 7-0. Only one touchdown scored in that game. 2nd and 9 coming up from the 31. 3 receivers flushed out left, one to the near side. Pickney will throw. It is caught by Kevin Leonard, very close to a first down, and it looks like he has it at the 41 of Rowan.
Profs doing a good job being able to move it downfield. even though they didn't have the field position that they wanted after that punt. It did drop a few yards, around 6 yards from that muff, but still being able to bring them back with that throw is very important.
Nearly 2 minutes gone by, second quarter, 3-0 lead for the brown and gold. One receiver to each side of the set. Handoff again, Marcelin. Marcelin evades a few tacklers, and Marcelin dragging white jerseys to midfield. He is about a yard short of the first down.
And it looks like Lennart seemed to be injured on that play, came up a little bit limping, went off the field.
And he's a bit doubled over on the sideline trying to gather himself. 2nd and 1 from midfield. One receiver to each side. Pickney again. Marcelin. Marcelin is stopped. Stopped on 2nd and 1. 3 defenders there for the Redhawks again.
Comes back to what we were talking about in the pregame about how these two teams know each other so well. Montclair seems to be right there whenever it has the ball, being able to stop any type of big yardage from them.
And it's Joe Filato again in the backfield. 3rd and 2. Profs lose a yard on that play. Trips far side, 1 to the near side. Marcelin, the deep back. They show blitz. Pickney throwing, and that's wide and incomplete. The pressure did not get there, but it forced Pickney out of the pocket, and now Whit Marcelin appears to be experiencing some discomfort as he heads off to the sideline, limping.
Seems to be doubled over right now, and that's not good for the Profs. Hopefully he's able to come back into the game without any type of problems.
He got banged up last week, came back into the game. Diedrichsen, good punt this time. Fielded at the 10, and not much of a return there at all. That's John DiStefano, the punt returner for the Redhawks. He was in a tricky spot there, Bob. If he let it go, the Redhawks could have easily been backed up at their own 1 or inside the 5. He catches it, and he got swallowed up quickly.
One of those plays where you take the tackle, you take the pain to benefit your team, and that's what he did there. Once he caught that ball, he had 2 Profs right on top of him.
11:36 remaining. Second quarter, still a 3-0 ball game. 1st and 10 from the 11 of Montclair State. Davies under center. He'll put this one up. Down the side, and that is incomplete. Well over the head of Sorvilla's head. 2nd down.
Davies has that long arm, able to throw it quite a few yards, 20 yards down the field. It's just he's not able to time it as well as he needs to be to hit his receivers that are just a little bit in front of the Prof safeties.
By the way, Whit Marcelin so far, 13 carries, 48 yards. So Montclair able to hold him under 4 yards per carry so far. And we'll check on his status to see if he can shake off whatever is ailing him. 2nd and 10 after the incomplete pass. Nieves, left side. Not a hole there for Nieves, big enough to break free from the Rowan defense. Minimal success on the play, and we have an injured Red Hawk down near the 19, and that is Sorvilla again.
Sorvilla took a little bit of an awkward turn as he was trying to cut back. Seems like it is something with what appears to be his knee.
He was limping earlier in the contest after, I believe, the previous drive, after making a reception. And that last pass was intended for him on a throw down the sideline, deep downfield. And now he appears to be worse off. He cannot put any pressure on his right foot. Has to be carried off. The Red Hawks will face a 3rd and 8 down a receiver here. Both teams 1 for 4 on 3rd down conversions so far. 11:08 left to go, second quarter, 3-0 game, Rowan up. Empty backfield for Davies. Out of the gun. Gets the snap. 3 down linemen rushed by the Profs. Davies will throw downfield. It is caught.
No, he dropped it. He dropped it with the pressure.
Incomplete. Looked like he had his hands on it, but could not come up with it.
He had his hands on it, but decided to run without the ball. He turned to get some yardage, realized he had open field, but forgot to get possession of that ball, and it started bobbling in his hands, and as he turned it, it just got knocked right out.
Golden opportunity there for the Red Hawks, and that pass falls to the turf. Daly on the punt. This will be a bounce and a hop at the 49. Jamel Smith will field it in Rowan territory. He'll come to the far side. 45, makes a man miss. 40, 35, 30. Nice return by Jamel Smith, former Patriot League Rookie of the Year, showing why he is a threat for this Rowan special teams unit.
After that first bounce, you're looking at it, he had pressure coming on him early, was able to draw away, cut back, actually started to lose yards as he was running to escape a tackle, and it proved to be very vital for that run as he was able to cut down towards the far side where there was really nobody after brilliant blocks by that special teams.
Let's see if that can spark this Rowan offense. Great field position for them. Offset eye, 1 receiver to each side. Leading 3-0. Pickney, pitch play left. It'll be Dante Tobler. And Tobler, not much success there to the left side. Minimal gain for Tobler, bringing about 2nd down. In large part because of the number that Salisbury did on Montclair State last week, the Red Hawks giving up about 250 yards per game on the ground. So far tonight, the Profs with 52 yards rushing. 2nd and 8, ball at the 28 of Montclair State. 1 receiver to each side. And now we will have a stop as the play clock was down to 1. Timeout called by the Profs. They have just 1 remaining here, with 9:45 left to go in the second quarter. Bob, that saved them about 5 yards there.
That did. It was a very late timeout. They realized it just as it came down to the wire. Another few moments, and they could have been back a little bit farther. And 2nd down being back would roughly be a 14, 15 yards for a 1st down. Not what they need, especially after that big run back on that punt.
Some score updates from action earlier on today and last night in the NJAC. William Patterson falling to Kane, 27-24. Kane improves to 3-0 on the year. In a battle of ranked teams, Wesley gets the 1-point edge over North Central out in Illinois, 50-49. The Wolverines improve to 3-0. The Profs will see them on October the 24th. And then in the score of the day, Salisbury annihilating Southern Virginia to improve to 2-1, 91-7. I don't have the NJAC record book in front of me, but that's got to be near the top of the charts for biggest blowout in league history. 2nd and 8 from the 28. Play action. Pickney will go for the end zone, and it is deflected and knocked away. Nice coverage there. Bill Shimko there in the end zone to help get his paws on the football and come up with a breakup.
Gillum was looking for a call there, but it was all clean as they were going up. He thought that someone got his hands on top of his shoulders and tried to lift himself to get higher possession, but they were all in the air for that ball.
3rd and 8 for the Profs. So they go for it downfield. Can't come up with the points that they were looking for there, so it'll be a 3rd and 8. From the 28 of Montclair State, Pinckney will try to load up again. In trouble, sacked. Back near the 37-yard line. The sack by Kevin Bless, who flexes his muscles once he gets up after the sack. Some showboating by Bless as he heads off to the field, and it'll be 4th and long for the Profs. And that's a big play, Bob, because that knocks them out of field goal range.
That it does, and really, I mean, Knighton does have a great foot for kicking field goals, but you cannot, in this type of game, that's with how close it is, give them that much field position. But they will try for it. Trying to get as many yards as they can here to really push Montclair back.
The ball after the sack spotted at the 37-yard line. With Diedrichsen just outside of midfield.
Look for him trying to pin them within their 10.
They'll let the play clock go down to 0 here, and it looks like they'll take the delay of game penalty to push them back 5 yards to give them a little bit more room, perhaps, to pin Montclair State deep.
Seems like what they were trying to do is in the next few yards, don't want to give them that extra yards. Also, being able to pin them is a very important part of what the defense can start with.
Diedrichsen back at his 45. Awaits a snap. Good kick. Fair catch called for, but it bounces at the 10. It'll be touched up right about at the 9-yard line. Montclair State, once again, will be backed up. So unfortunately for Rowan, Bob, that punt return by Jamel Smith to the 30 goes by the boards.
Yes, it does. They had a very great opportunity after he was able to get 20 yards with that punt return, but not being able to capitalize on it with any type of points. See if that comes back to haunt them.
8:21 remaining. Quarter number 2. One receiver to each side of the set. I formation for the Red Hawks. Davies will throw. Far side reception is made. Short catch made shy of the 15-yard line. It's Aaron Williams who was able to come up with a catch early on, but has been quiet since that first drive. They'll mark him at the 13-yard line after a gain of 4. Inside 8 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Rowan still up 3-0. I set 2 receivers this time to the near side. It'll be a Nieves carry and a late flag thrown.
It's going to be a personal foul. Not sure which side it's going to go for, though. There was a little bit of a scuffle between 2 players.
Bobby Barberi indicates that it is against Montclair State. We'll see what the official call is. And it appears he is correct. Personal foul against the Red Hawks. There was a scrum right after that carry. And that pushes the ball back to the 7-yard line. And that'll make it. Well, let's see if they call it a post-play foul, which it was. It'll be a 3rd and 12. Profs exchanging personnel. 4 down linemen here for Rowan. 1 receiver to the far side of the set. It'll be a handoff to Nieves. Nieves right side. Not a lot there.
Darren
Boy, these two defenses have done a great job in this game of kind of holding their position. Rowan doesn't allow a first down to kind of shift field position. Montclair State, when they've been pressured on the other side, haven't given up a lot on their end either.
And that's one thing that we have been talking about is the way that these two teams know each other's offense. They know where to go, and they also know a little bit of their formations and how they're setting up.
Daly on to punt. Decent kick, but it'll bounce forward, and it will stop right near the 38-yard line. Smith looked like he had a shot there for the return, but the hop went in the opposite direction. He couldn't make the play on it, and Montclair State touches it up.
Not sure if maybe in benefits for. Not sure if he could have gotten more yards with that run back. But
May have been a break for Montclair State, because Smith at least would have had a full head of steam there. One receiver to each side of the set. 1st and 10, offset I. Pitch play left. Marcelin trying to get to the edge. Marcelin 35. Marcelin barreling to the 29. The all-time leading rusher in Rowan history. Also the all-time leading ball carrier in Rowan history, topping Robbie Reed last week for most carries in a Rowan career. 673 times he has toted the rock for the brown and gold coming into tonight. And he is approaching 20 carries here in this first half. So far, 14 carries, 57 yards for Marcelin. Offset I again. One receiver to each side. It's a 2nd and 1 after a gain of 9. Marcelin takes the football to the left. Should have the first down. Near the 29. Well, they'll move him a little forward to the 28. That'll be good enough for a first down.
So a big first down after Montclair just went 3 and out. Being able to push those chains, keeping their defense on the field. And really, that's been one of the stories as well. The time possession for Rowan has been very good. And the Montclair defense maybe starting to let up a little bit soon.
Offset I, one receiver to each side of the formation. 1st and 10, pitch play again, Marcelin. Marcelin cutting it back. Marcelin near the 20-yard line. They say the 21, gain of 7. It's so impressive that Marcelin has been able to handle this type of workload for Rowan. Such a durable player for this Profs offense.
Seems like every drive he's out there to get at least a majority of the yards for the next first down.
One receiver to each side. Offset I. 2nd and 3. From the 21. Pickney under center. Hand off. Marcelin stopped in the backfield. The Redhawks coming up with a stop. Michael Tenpenny, the senior outside linebacker, with the tackle. They'll call it a loss of 1 on the play, setting up a 3rd and 4. Neither team has distinguished itself on 3rd down here tonight. Rowan 1 of 5 on 3rd down. Faced with a 3rd and 4 from the Montclair 22. Pickney under center. Pitch play left again. And Marcelin is ripped down near the 25-yard line. Josh Brown has been a handful in this game. He makes the tackle on Marcelin.
And once again, the 3rd down conversions really becoming a hampering for the Profs offense as they cannot find a way to get those extra few yards in that clutch time. Being able to move the chains right there would have given them even more time off the clock going into the half and maybe even a chance for more points besides just the 3.
This will be a 43-yard field goal attempt by Tyler Knighton out of the hold of Jeff Rodriguez. Spot at the left hash. The kick is blocked. Blocked at the line, and it's not advanced. Players fall on top of it at the 29-yard line. So Knighton has a kick blocked with 3:22 left to go before halftime. Again, Montclair State's defense answering the bell. Clearly, you look at the scoreboard, 3-0. Both defenses came to play here tonight.
That they have, and even so, you look at the defense, but you got to realize both sides have had good offensive presence as well. They both were able to get some yards downfield, big opportunities, penalties, drawing them back a little bit. That's been hampering both teams.
1st and 10 for the 29. Dump off into the flat. Nieves gets banged hard out of bounds. Looked like Eddie Davis got him. That will be a minimal gain at best. 2nd down. Montclair State's offense just has not been able to get a lot of traction since that opening drive. That was really the best they've looked all night. 7 of 15 for 52 yards so far is Ryan Davies.
Once again, we were talking about Davies, about how he's able to throw the long ball, but it's not being able to get the timing right now.
4 receivers, 2 to each side. Davies, pressure coming on, flushed out to the right, throws across his body. Catch is made by Williams. That may very well be coming back. There's a penalty marker down at the 23. That may be in the area of holding.
I think so as well. A lot of props were coming into the area, and as they were trying to get the cuts around, you saw a few of them being unable to really get any more momentum that they had, and a few of them were pulled to the ground.
Holding is the call. Back 10 for Montclair State.
Once again, I've been talking about how the offense have been trying to get some yards, and they've been getting them, but every single time there's been something in that drive that brings them back. Unable to get a solid footing.
6 penalties now. Or check that, 4 penalties now for the Redhawks. 2nd and 21. 2:30 left to go before halftime. It is still a 3-0 game. Tyler Knighton with a field goal prior to the conclusion of the first quarter. Not the only score in the game. 2 receivers each side. Davies will throw over the middle. It's intercepted. Picked off. Darren Dungee. Dungee is ripped down near the 27-yard line.
Darren Dungee with a huge play. Once again, Davis not being able to contact with his receivers, throwing over their heads, not being able to get that timing. Dungee right there to pick it up.
It is tough to make a living over the middle of the field against this Rowan defense throwing the football. Last week we saw linebacker Jeff Rodriguez come up with an interception. This week it is Darren Dungee, the star middle linebacker for this Rowan defense. .205 left before halftime, and Rowan will set up at the 27.
Another big chance for their own Profs here. Being able to get any more points on the scoreboard before half is just that much more confidence moving in, especially after now we had the run back on the punt that gave them good yardage. Now we got an interception. They have to find a way to capitalize here.
3rd interception this season thrown by a Montclair State quarterback. 1st and 10, ball at the 27 of the Redhawks. Pitch play. It looks like loading up to throw is Tobler. Down towards the end zone, tipped away, and it's incomplete. Fortune almost hauled that one in. If he brought it in, it would have been a touchdown, and that would have brought the house down.
It looked very well. There was great coverage, but he was able to get his arms up and able to grab the ball just as he was coming down, was unable to control it.
2nd and 10 from the 27. 1:58 left to go. Resetting the timeouts here in the first half. 1 for Rowan, 2 for Montclair State remaining. Shotgun set. 4 receivers, trips left for Pinckney. He'll look left. He'll throw left. Fortune with the catch. Fortune gets tattooed by Bill Shimko as he walked a tightrope down the sideline. Let's see where they'll spot him. He will not have the first down. Looks like he'll be a couple of yards shy of the first, right near the 19.
Now we got another 3rd down opportunity where the Profs have been struggling tonight. to get a few more yards, give Knighton a little bit more space, a little bit more if they're going to have to go into fourth down territory.
One receiver to each side. Offset eye, 3rd and 2. Hand off, and, well, it's going to be close. It's Tobler again. Going to depend on the spot.
Seems like they're going to be short.
4th and 1.
And it looks like they will be going for it. Big opportunity here for the Profs.
Marcelin in, Tobler out. 4th and 1 from the 18. 1:11 left to go before halftime. Pickney under center. Offset eye. Marcelin gets popped, and he did not get it. The Montclair State defense holds. Marcelin ran left, and he ran into a brick wall.
We've been talking about the third down. Montclair State has been really showing themselves as a threat, being able to stop them. Coming on fourth down, the same thing is going on. Not being able to really get it. The running game has not been doing too well on third down.
Michael Tenpenny, again, one of the first Red Hawks there to make the tackle with 1:03 left to go. It is still a 3-0 game in the first half. You had a feeling going into tonight that the points may not be plentiful because of the familiarity between these two programs, the way Rowan's defense has played this year, and Montclair State needing to win this game. Handoff Nieves, tries to shake free from a couple of Rowan defenders, lost the football. The Profs say they have it.
He was trying to be a little bit too fancy with that run, trying to do a few spin moves, and with one arm on the ball, didn't have too much of a grip on it, and it bounced off right towards the line.
Montclair State looks like they have recovered. 43 seconds and ticking left to go. It's a loss of 1 on the carry by Nieves. One receiver to the right. Again, Rowan has 1 timeout left in the half. Nieves takes a carry, hangs on to the football this time, rolls out to near the 24-yard line with 15 seconds left to go, and that will just about do it for the second quarter and for this first half. Big turnout from the Rowan side. Montclair State also with some support on their side, and the fans here at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium in Rowan's home opener greeted to a defensive first half of. The kick will be fielded at the 11 by Fortune, crossing the 20, 25, 30. Runs through a couple defenders at the 35, out past the 37 to the 40-yard line. Good return there by Russ Fortune.
Good return and great field position for the Profs to start off at that 40-yard line. Fielded it just before the 20, and being able to get that type of yardage is huge for this second half start.
Rowan's offense, 60 yards to go to Pater, leading 3-0 over Montclair State University. Saturday night football in Glassboro. Great turnout by the fans and the alumni here at Rowan University. Offset eye. Handoff to Whit Marcelin, gain of 1. It's been an up and down, back and forth matchup between the Rowan offensive line and the front 7 of Montclair State. The Profs have won a few battles, so has Montclair State.
And that's been the story of the night so far. The Profs have been getting so much good field position, but it's just falling back on those third downs as the offensive line meets that defensive line, and it's just a clash, and there's no room for Marcelin to run through, or any run back for Rowan for that matter.
That's the 20th carry of the night for Marcelin. 2nd and 9, one receiver to each side from the 41. Play action. Pickney in big trouble, gets hit. He somehow spins out of it, but then gets cleaned up near the 32-yard line. 3 defenders there for Montclair State in pursuit as Ven Cordasco with the finishing blow on Dante Pickney.
I believe it was Benvenez who got that first initial touch on Pickney.
Somehow he got away from that, but nonetheless, it's 3rd and 18 now, just about 90 seconds in to the third quarter. One receiver each side again. Pickney hands it off to Marcelin. Marcelin gets stacked up, approaching the 35-yard line. Montclair State's defense holding on 3rd down. That'll bring out Mark Diedrichsen.
Craig Pitts was there for the stop for Montclair. Came right over the pile and was able to stop any type of yardage gain. There was a hole, but unable to break the tackle.
Diedrichsen standing at his 23. DeStefano near the football, but he will opt not to return. And it will be touched up right near the 23-yard line. This is actually one of the better spots of the field. Montclair State has had the football here in the last several possessions. Rowan certainly won the battle of field position, Bob.
That they have, especially when they also were able to get positioning, even before the positioning, being able to get the run backs and able to get the turnovers has really helped them out, but just not able to execute during third downs has been hurting both teams.
1st and 10 from the 23. Davies play action, rolls the pocket outright. The pass is completed to the far side of the field. Anthony Dorsey, the backup fullback, with the catch. Picked up about 4 yards on the reception to the 27 of Montclair State.
Looking, the Profs defense have been well rested in the first half, not being out there for as long as the Profs offense, really helping them out, seeing if they can capitalize with it here.
2 receivers near side. The deep back is Nieves. He'll take the carry. Nieves trying to run wide, reverses his field, and then gets blasted by 3 Rowan defenders, including Sebastian Lajoka. Maybe a gain of 1 there for Nieves. 3rd and 6.
Nieves had a few cuts in, cuts out, being able to draw, able to not get a loss of yardage, which will help them out a little bit, but not able to get that big run that they wanted.
Again, we mentioned at the transition into halftime, Rowan's offense has struggled on third downs. The same for Montclair State. Montclair State 1 of 6 on third downs. 2 receivers each side. For Davies, who's out of the gun, Nieves to his left. Needs 5, throws over the middle high, but it's caught. Nice catch there made. And a big break for Montclair State as Jelani Prince, the freshman wide receiver from Matawan, New Jersey, comes up with a reception. He had to stretch out those long arms to make that reception.
We saw that throw earlier that ended up going in the Profs' favor as there was an interception, but this time being able to get a good jump on it was Prince and able to get that and able to pull it down.
1st and 10 from the 37 for the Redhawks, fresh set of downs. Nieves, right side. Nieves gets hit and met at the 40. Knocked backwards, but they give him forward progress for 3 yards. We talked about Whit Marcelin. The rushing attack of Montclair State has not been on point in this contest against the top rushing defense in the New Jersey Athletic Conference. Nieves, 9 carries, 18 yards at the end of the first half.
And if you're looking at the game, it doesn't seem that bad the way that Montclair has been running the ball, but also a lot of stops, big stops coming in, huge opportunities for the Profs.
4 receivers now. They flush out Nieves in the flat. Davies tries to step up and he's brought down. The Profs come up with a sack on 2nd and 7. Sebastian Lajoka there for the Profs. Third and long coming up from the 35.
Bring up third and 12 at the 35-yard line.
12 yards to go for Montclair State, with Rowan leading 3-0. 9:20 left to go in the third quarter. They empty the backfield here. 2 receivers to each side. Profs in 3 down linemen. Aaron Williams makes the catch, makes one man miss to the 40 to the 45, still on his feet, has the first down. Big missed tackle there. Couldn't quite tell who Williams made miss. A critical missed tackle nonetheless.
And now Montclair with 2 third-down conversions, still keeping this drive alive. And we've been talking about how the third-down conversions have hurt both teams. Montclair showing what can happen when you do get control of them.
The Williams catch moves the ball to the 49-yard line. 2 receivers to the right. It'll be a handoff to John DeStefano, the backup. DeStefano still moving, still pushing forward, has the first down. From an effort perspective, best run of the night for the Red Hawks.
Was going to be a 5-yard gain for Montclair, turned into a gain of 11 after that push, being able to stay on his feet as the whole wall just started there and was just in the middle of both sides pushing and was able to get an extra few yards.
Stop on the play, and it looks like a Rowan player is down. Far side of the field.
Guys, another reminder that we'll have the fireworks play starting 10 minutes after the conclusion of tonight's game.
Was part of that wall being able to be taken down, a lot of bodies on top of them.
That's Eddie Davis.
Seems to be coming off under his own power, which is a good sign.
Not a pronounced limp, but we'll see if he returns to the game. Montclair State on their first drive to start this contest petered out in Rowan territory. And now with an opportunity here on this drive to open up the third quarter. They have the football, and now we're already down towards 8 minutes left to go in the third quarter. 3-0 game. Montclair State in Rowan territory. DeStefano again, right side. Got hit, still moving down the sideline with the football is DeStefano. Again, second effort by DeStefano, moving forward, and has a first down for the Red Hawks.
Once again, with a huge possession here from Montclair, being able to push this ball down the field, able to convert on these third downs, and really being able to get around those sidelines and executing, not being able to get pushed out of bounds and breaking tackles.
First and 10 for the Red Hawks. Ball at the 29 of Rowan. 7.5 left to go. Third quarter. The Red Hawks slowly building momentum. Left side run, DeStefano again. To the 24, a gain of 5. So a change of pace with DeStefano getting far more results out of his runs than Denzel Nieves.
A little bit of a mix-up and different running patterns, too, I've been seeing. As Stefano has been coming out, he's been taking a little bit of a transition between getting the ball, has been waiting a little bit longer, which I think is throwing off the Profs defense.
One receiver to each side. 2nd and 5 from the 24 of Rowan. Davies under center. He'll put it up here. Davies arches one towards the end zone. It is caught.
Out of bounds.
No good. Out of bounds.
He was unable to keep his feet on the ball as he was going over that corner and was not able to get either foot in bounds.
The near side official took his time there to make that call and then waved it off. Said out of bounds.
Meanwhile, Davies was hit in the back as he was throwing that ball.
It'll bring about a 3rd and 5. Play clock down to 7 for the Red Hawks.
Huge stop here for the Profs.
2 receivers, right of Davies. Handoff to Stefano, tries to cut it back, running out of real estate, still on his feet. Still on his feet again, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5. He's into the end zone. Touchdown. John DeStefano. A 24-yard touchdown run. Surprising the Rowan defense. It is 6-3. Montclair State. 6:31 left to go in the 3rd quarter.
And as we were saying about those 3rd down conversions, Montclair this drive has had 3 of them, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll run the swinging gate here for the extra point. Line starts out left, readjusts to the center of the field for the snap. Schneeberger on for the extra point. And the kick is good. John DeStefano coming alive in this 3rd quarter and resuscitating the Red Hawks offense. It is 7-3 Montclair State. We'll have more on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM right after this. John DeStefano, change of pace. The backup running back. Also who contributes on special teams as a return man. May have turned the tide in this game. Has given Montclair State a 7-3 lead. He did not carry the football before that last drive. And this kick, out of bounds. A break for the Profs. DeStefano carried the football on that last drive 4 times for 51 yards. And Bob, he was an easy guy to get lost in the crowd. He's only 5'8". It looked like Rowan had a hard time wrapping him up.
It seemed that way too. Also, when he was coming towards the pile, he waited a little bit. He knows that his size is a little bit smaller. He waited for a hole to open up, and once he went in that hole, every other player that was going towards that hole lost sight of him. They jumped into the pile. Next thing you know, he was already running to the outside.
6:31 left to go, 3rd quarter. And let's see if the Rowan offense has an answer. They haven't been behind the 8 ball too much here in this young season. Handoff left side out to the 38-yard line. They trailed in the first half of the game against Widener. It was a 7-3 contest. Rowan ripped off 21 unanswered. And of course, they controlled the play last week at William Patterson. Gain of 3. It's a 2nd and 7 for the Profs. Pickney rolls out, throws high, and it's incomplete. Intended for the tight end, Paul Rucci. Got a hand in on it. As the Red Hawks scurried to possibly try to intercept it, falls to the turf, incomplete. 3rd and 7.
Yeah, that was a dangerous play as it went high over the head of Paul Rucci and was able to get a tip on it. And maybe the tip actually saved the Profs from an interception as well. There was a lot of defenders right behind him that could have been ready for that if it wasn't for the tip.
Profs will go trips near side. One receiver flanked out to the left. Pickney, quick throw, caught by Jamel Smith. Smith pushing forward to the 42. He stopped short of the first down, and it'll be a 4th down and a punt situation here for Rowan. By the way, on that last series that is now concluding for Rowan, Gawain Bragg in the backfield for the Profs, getting that initial carry.
Once again, the Profs' struggles continue on 3rd down conversions.
Just have not been able to get themselves right on 3rd downs here this evening. From the 29, a Diedrichson punt. It's a good leg into this one. The return out to the 25, spinning forward to the 30. That is DiStefano, who has the lone touchdown in the game. And that's one of the things you think about when you go back to that last drive. He's been returning punts. Certainly it's far different returning punts and running the football, but looked like a far different player running the football for Montclair State.
Definitely, and so as we kept on seeing him run the ball throughout the first half, he wasn't out there, and the Profs were able to shut down the running game. Once he comes out there, it's a whole new setup. It's a whole new defense that they have to look at, and the offense and Montclair's offense was able to capitalize.
Denzel Nieves takes the carry, and he moves forward for about 8 yards off the right side, perhaps inspired by the run of DiStefano and getting some help from some solid blocking from the offensive line as well off the right side.
Now it seems like in the second half it has switched. Profs seem to be looking like they're on their heels a little bit, trying to stop this run game.
And this big crowd here at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium has fallen quiet over the last few minutes. 2nd and 2. Handoff again, Nieves has a hole, has a first down to midfield, still plowing, lost the ball. 3 Red Hawks are there, though, to track it down. He fumbled it all the way back near the 49. That was about 5 yards backwards nearly. And it was Aaron Williams who comes up with the recovery.
Missed opportunity with that fumble. Of course, the Profs, nothing they could do to try to recover it. Nobody was in the area, but big game for them, too, being able to set them back 5 yards with that fumble.
3:50 and ticking left to go in quarter number 3. Montclair State outside of Rowan territory. Davies will throw, pump fake, got hit, lost the ball. Nieves had a shot at it, late penalty marker down, and let's see what the call is here. If Nieves recovered that, that might be a personal foul against Rowan.
That's why I was believing it was going to be late hit on Nieves, who was already down. Seemed like he had control of the ball and just got drilled right as he was right at the ball.
That's a tough call. You're going for the football there, and it looks like that may cost the Profs 15 yards. Well, we can't identify the number because it's drowned out by the boos here by the fans at Coach Richard Wacker Stadium. But a bad break there for the Profs. They get the sack, the fumble. Nieves had fallen on top of it, but personal foul called, and we're seeing that a lot now from officiating in college and the NFL, trying to protect guys from running in after the play, after it's established that the play is over. Tough break there for Rowan. 2nd and 7 after the dead ball foul. Nieves trying to get the edge, can't do it. Escorted out of bounds right near the line of scrimmage at the 48.
As we were talking about that play being called more in both college and the NFL, trying to cut down on what seems to be concussions of players coming in hard on defenseless players.
3rd and 8. at the 49-yard line.
It'll be 3rd and 8. They'll mark him back to the 49. And you see that call, or you've seen it a lot so far with guys trying to pile in late, and that situation hurts Rowan because it appeared there was a fumble there. Davies will take off on 3rd and 8. Lowers his head at the 46. Maybe not the wisest of decisions to go toe-to-toe with John Barillo. He gets stopped short of the first down. It'll be 4th down.
Big stop for the Profs, not being able to add, Montclair being able to add to their lead now and keeping their offense in this game.
Jamel Smith at the 10. Daly retrieves the snap, which bounces to him. Smith will field it shy of the 10, right near the 12-yard line. So Rowan's offense will start backed up here. And the Profs, they need a big play on offense. 112 yards of total offense so far in this game, and they are moving backwards after really what's been a third quarter controlled here by Montclair State. 2:23 left to go in the third quarter with the Red Hawks leading 7-3. You had a feeling the final score of this game was not going to be 3-0, despite how well these two defenses were playing. You knew the offenses at some point were going to come up with some sort of attack. It'll be a handoff near side. And Marcelin gets knocked down after a gain out to the 17-yard line. It'll be a gain of close to 6 yards for Marcelin.
As we were saying, we didn't expect this game to be 3-0. You saw both teams, even in the first half, being able to move the ball, and you had to realize that one of the teams was going to have a lucky break go for them, and being able to convert on third downs was it for Montclair.
One receiver to each side. Marcelin takes the handoff on 2nd and 6. Tries to cut it back, but the lane shut down on him. May have lost a yard and did so to the 16. It'll be 3rd down.
Cut in from the inside through a hole, was able to get to the back of Marcelin and able to bring him down.
Rowan 1 of 9 on 3rd down conversions. Talked about it during the pregame. Montclair State, heading into this game, despite their defensive issues, had held teams to 5 of 21 on 3rd down conversions. Play clock at 9. 3rd and 7, ball at the 15. Fortune in motion to the far side of the set. 2 receivers. Penalty marker down. The bootleg, the completion out to Matt Hughes. That will be good enough for a 1st down, but let's check the marker. Could be against Rowan. A lot of movement before that snap by the Profs.
Could be set up as an illegal formation, but the play would have been called a little bit sooner.
And it is a penalty against the Profs. Looked like illegal motion there against Rowan. And that will mark it as a 3rd and 12 for Rowan. Profs shuffled the deck on offense. Leonard in. Heading out is Jamel Smith. Let's see what the Profs have dialed up here. Backed up. They call it officially a 3rd and 11. 1 receiver to each side. They put Hughes in motion. Hand off to Marcelin. And he goes backwards.
Once again, into that wall that the 3rd down defense has set up by Montclair. Every single time that Marcelin has gotten the ball on 3rd down, he's been run right into just a wall of white jerseys.
The Profs, at the end of the first half, had 109 yards of total offense. And as we are set to end quarter number 3, just 5 yards total for Rowan in that 3rd quarter. The Red Hawks flipped the game with a 24-yard touchdown run by John DiStefano. That's the brown and gold game summary, the Profs game summary, brought to you by the Brown and Gold Gridiron Club at the end of 3. Montclair State 7, Rowan 3. We'll have more on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Headed your way right after this. Fourth down, punt to start the fourth quarter. Diedrichson has time in his own end zone. The punt will bounce right near the 40, and Bragg brings him down. DeStefano, that is, in Rowan territory at the 46. Not much movement made on the return, but the Red Hawks, for one of the few times tonight, set up with great field position to start this next drive. And this is a pivotal drive for the Rowan defense to keep this to a one-score game. Derek Jones and Bob Duncan with you for Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Profs led this game at the end of the first half, 3-0. John DeStefano turning the tide in the third quarter with some big runs. He's given the Red Hawks a 7-3 lead. And we will have a penalty marker down. As it looked like Davies wanted to put that up, it'll be against the Red Hawks.
They're calling it a false start on the Red Hawks.
5 back for Montclair State. That's another penalty on Montclair, the 5th tonight. 5 for 49 yards. The Profs, meanwhile, or check that, 5 for 47 yards. The Profs with 7 penalties tonight for 60 yards.
That was part of the story of the first half, penalties.
1 receiver to each side. 1st and 15, run play to the right side. Dylan DeVita there for the Profs. Some pushing and shoving between the Profs and Red Hawks, as DeStefano with the run out to the 49-yard line in Rowan territory. That'll set up a 2nd and 13.
Gain 2 yards. 2nd and 13.
Montclair State trying to put together a drive here that will extend their lead. 3 receivers, 2 left for Davies. Davies will throw, dumps it off in the flat for DeStefano. DeStefano, not much doing on that reception, gets popped out of bounds. There's Rodriguez with the stop. And that will bring about a 3rd down. Looks like about 11 to go for Montclair State.
Now it continues to be a struggle with penalties, trying to get back into field position.
Montclair State was 1 of 6 on 3rd down conversions in the first half. So far in the third quarter and beyond, 3 of 4. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. 3rd and 11 from the 47 of Rowan. Davies dumps it off over the middle of the field, dropped. Hit his intended receiver right in the breadbasket, DJ Pandolfo. Looked like it hit him right between the 8 and the 4, and he did not catch it. 4th down.
4th and 11.
Pandolfo had it in his arms, but was unable to control the bouncing ball once it hit his chest, was unable to contain it, and it fell to the floor.
Daly steps into a punt, and this is a rocket. Bounces inside of the 5, then rolls forward to the 5. It's touched up by Bill Shimko of the Red Hawks. What a punt by Hunter Daly.
You said it. What a punt. It landed. Seemed like it was going to be going out of bounds. Left the ball alone, and then hits the ball. Nice backspin to bring it right into that 5-yard line.
13-15 remaining. 7-3 game in favor of Montclair State University. Rowan outgained now 160-114 by the Redhawks. It'll be a Rowan drive starting out deep in their own end. At the 5. Offset eye. The deep back is Jasim Rover. Rover spins to the 8. We talked about the importance of this game for Montclair State. Bob, you mentioned it earlier. This game is just as big for the Profs. At 1-0 now, you go to 2-0 in conference play. You stay in pace and in step with Wesley and Kane and Salisbury. You don't win this game, you fall really into a cluster trying to get back up to that top spot in that top window.
And especially facing Salisbury in 2 weeks, you want to be able to come into them on even ground and not behind, especially what game they had today.
Quick throw, far sideline. To the 30, to the 40, to the 45, midfield, 40, on his feet, to the end zone. Touchdown! Russ Fortune, 93 yards on a quick swing pass, takes it to the house. Rowan regains the lead, 9-7 with 12:18 left to go.
What a play all the way back in their own zone. Huge opportunity for the Profs. Coming back, being able to take the lead. And now the crowd, as you can hear, they're right back into this game.
Easily the longest pass play of the season for the Profs. Extra point is up and good. How about that? Rowan answers. A 93-yard touchdown reception. 10-7. Rowan out in front. 12:18 left to go. We'll have more on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM right after this. (10-7) Rowan lead. The Profs with an answer. And boy, did they need that one. Russ Fortune, 3 catches, 104 yards. They officially credit him with a 92-yard touchdown catch. The kickoff by Bobo will bounce in front of the 10. It'll be fielded by DeStefano. DeStefano to the 20. And not much past that. He gets hit hard right near the 20-yard line.
And you can even see the change of the players on the Rowan sideline after that touchdown. Really, their whole demeanor has changed. They went from being down, starting to sit there and slouch a little bit in their zone, on their sideline, I should say. And now, after that stop, they're all hyped up. They're jumping around.
1st and 10, ball at the 20 for the Redhawks. That the second touchdown pass for Dante Pinckney as Nieves takes the carry here and is dropped near the 17-yard line. Second and 13. So Nieves not finding a lot of success there. And now the pressure shifts back over to the Redhawks with 11:44 remaining. Montclair State's defense looked like they had the game under control. But just like that, The Profs with an answer. I set. Davies will dump it off. Nieves makes a man miss to the 20, rolls to the 25, and that'll set up a certainly makeable third down here. Need to get to the 30 for a first. They exchange personnel here. And both these offenses have their hands full tonight with the respective defenses. And you knew that at some point these offenses were going to have to come up with some type of answer to what they saw here from the respective defenses. We saw Montclair State do it once. We've seen Rowan do it once. It's a 3rd and 5. Over the middle, caught. First down, leaning forward for the first down to the 33-yard line is Michael Petrizzo, the sophomore wide receiver from New York.
And on both of the scoring drives, it was through plays that they haven't shown yet today. Both these teams know each other so well, and what they saw in the first half let them know exactly where the defense knew where to attack.
10-20 and ticking. 1st and 10 from the 33. Pistol set. Davies, play action. Looking. 35 to the 38-yard line to 39. That's DJ Pandolfo.
And a flag on the field as well.
It's back at the 26. And by Ryan Davies' reaction, he was not a happy camper.
Seemed like it was part of the line. Most likely a personal foul call against Montclair.
They are huddling up, the officials, that is. Personal foul against Montclair State. Boy, these teams. Coach Accorsi mentioned on the Rowan University Football Coaches Show that the games in the NJAC between the New Jersey schools would take on an extra bit of intensity now because of the lack of New Jersey schools in the league. And you're seeing it with Montclair State picking up another personal foul call. Not showing discipline there. It's a 1st and 25 from the 18. Nieves will take the handoff. And Nieves gets rejected after reaching the original line of scrimmage as the Profs converge upon him with Jeff Rodriguez leading the pack.
And looking at that discipline, Montclair 6 penalties for 42 yards, or for 62 yards. The Profs also have 7 penalties of their own, but they're only for 40 yards.
Montclair State down by 3, facing a 2nd and 26. Davies loads up, tipped, almost intercepted. Almost picked off as getting a hand on it for the Profs was John Allbecker. It'll be 3rd and 26. Now, if you're the Red Hawks, you want to be smart about this one. It's going to be tough to gain that big of a chunk against this Rowan defense. Let's see what they will dial up here. 5 of 12 on 3rd downs. 5 receivers set. Davies steps up, throws over the middle, intercepted, picked off. Rodriguez inside of the 10, or inside of the 15, I should say, down near the 10. And that is the 2nd interception of the day thrown by Ryan Davies.
And that was exactly what Montclair did not want. You said they had to get something. They had to get a little bit, a few yards. And something like that was not what they wanted. They did not want to give up the ball. They would have rather went for a run play at that point to get a punt. But now the Profs in great field position. try to add to their score.
Potentially a fatal play here for the Redhawks. 8:50 left. One receiver to each side. The deep back is Whit Marcelin, who's back in the contest. Takes a pitch play. Going left. Marcelin. Maybe to the 9 at best. Montclair State with another mistake that could cost them this contest unless their defense can hold the Profs out of the end zone. 8:25 left to go.
Also a little bit of scrum after the play as well. These two teams still showing what this rivalry is going to be like.
One receiver to each side of the line. Pickney under center. 2nd and 7 from the 9. Marcelin moving to the 5. Marcelin still on his feet at the 4. And that'll set up 3rd down. The Profs can get a 1st down without scoring a touchdown here. And with 7:54 left to go, one of the bigger plays of the game on the way. Inside of the Montclair State 5. A reminder, this is Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM Glassboro. Derek Jones and Bob Duncan with you as the Profs elect to call timeout.
This is also where the game of chess comes into play in this match. You look at that big turnover for the Profs being able to take control of this, but you also look at this 3rd down conversion. If they don't get it, what do? Do they go for it and try to make this a 2-possession game, or do they force Montclair to have to come back and get a touchdown by kicking a field goal?
Tricky call here. I mean, I think you take the points if you don't get it here because, I mean, to be honest with you, if it's 13-7 and Montclair State goes back down the field to make it 13-all, there's no guarantee that they get the extra point to go up. So, I mean, I think they'll take the points here considering they have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But yeah, it's an enticing situation. I do understand your point.
It's that game of chess that is the other side of football. It'll be exciting to see what the Profs go for here. Either way, they want to score right now. They want to get in there and just throw that scenario out the window and be able to get those 6 points on the board.
Profs with 2 timeouts remaining. Montclair State with all 3 left with 7:34 remaining. Still plenty of football left to go, but Rowan can really put Montclair State in a hole here if they can come up with a score. 3rd and 2 from the Montclair State 4. 2 receivers out to the right. Pickney flushed out right. Will try to keep him in himself, and looks like he didn't get it. Looks like he did not get it. And we will see the field goal unit. Tyler Knighton will head on. Montclair State coming up with a big stop.
Which is a smart move. It is forcing Montclair to have to get into the end zone to tie this game up.
Knighton will have a short 21-yard field goal attempt on the way. Out of the hold of Jeff Rodriguez. Spotted, kicked, and good. Tyler Knighton extending the lead. Out to 6, 13-7 with 6:47 left to go. We'll step out for a quick break and come back with more on Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. Headed your way after this. 13-7, Rowan lead. Derek Jones and Bob Duncan with you for Rowan Radio 89.7 WGLS FM. The Profs trying to hold off Montclair State. The Redhawks defense coming up with a big stop there on 3rd and 2. The kick will be fielded right near the 10 by DeStefano. DeStefano across the 20, near the 25-yard line, where a mass of bodies converge. The Redhawks offense will come back out, and if you're Davies, we talked about ball security during Profs pregame. You've got to hold on to the ball here and not give Rowan another short field.
That was one thing that we were saying also in that third down opportunity that they had, where it was 3rd and long, and they decided to try to go for the full yard gain.
Yeah, that's a good point, Bob. It was 26 yards to go on a first down, maybe a draw there. You see that called a lot. Davies launches it downfield, and it's incomplete. Looked like he was shooting for Aaron Williams against Jared Sanchez, and Sanchez with good coverage there. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10.
Williams was looking for a call as well, saying that he was impeded motion, but that was just good defensive coverage.
Davies now 13 of 28, 97 yards, 2 interceptions. 4 receivers, 2 to each side. It's a 2nd and 10 from the 26. Davies has to step outside of the pocket to the right. Davies will throw, and that one is out of bounds. Incomplete. 3rd down.
Josh Pepper with the aggression into the pocket, forcing the quick throw.
The Redhawks here in this second half, better on 3rd downs, 5 of 13 on 3rd down conversions. And they'll go empty backfield here, 5 wide. 3 to the near side, 2 to the left for Davies. It's a 3rd and 10 from the MSU 26. Davies in trouble, wheels away from a man, throws, it's caught, and that is close to a first down, and he has it.
Aaron Williams.
What a play there by Ryan Davies to elude a potential sack. He makes the throw to Aaron Williams, getting away from Rizzolo.
And look at that 3rd down possession right there. Huge for Montclair to try to come back in this game.
Pistol set. DeStefano takes the carry right side, hops into the hole, knock forward to the 44-yard line. That'll be a gain of about 7. Late penalty marker thrown, and it looks like this might be against Montclair State, looking at the reaction of the Profs.
Michael Pederiso seemed like he got a late hit on near the 53-yard line, the 47-yard line of the Prof zone.
So what would have been a 2nd and 3 looks like it's going to be a 2nd and long here for the Redhawks. And it is against Patrizio, and that will move the football back 15 yards. Wow.
Discipline coming to be a big factor in this game.
It's interesting. You see these teams on a weekly basis, and you look at the rosters, and you see the talent, and you say sometimes, wow, how is this team fill in the blank of whatever their record is if they are struggling? You can see a little bit of why Montclair State has struggled so far this season, taking some just undisciplined penalties. 5:31 left to go, and Montclair State faced with a 2nd and 18 from the 29. They'll empty the backfield again. Davies looking over the middle, running out of time, steps up in the pocket, runs to the 39, And a penalty marker down. Davies slid. He was engaged by a defender after he already declared to slide, and that's going to be 15 right back for Montclair State.
Both ways these penalties are going, and it really is just unfathomable about how much it has been changing this game from one way to another. You just had one go back against Montclair. Now it's looking like you're going to have one go in favor of Montclair during the same drive.
If this is against Rowan, Montclair State, and by the way, to add to matters, Davies' helmet, he's still trying to put it on. Got knocked off, and that certainly didn't help matters.
That was part of the late contact, I believe, as he was coming through. There was already a defender on top of him when he was going into the slide. I'm not thinking they're going to call that, but I think the hit to the head.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And they mark it off 15 yards, it will go into Rowan territory. That's a tough thing with those calls. It's tough as a defender. You can understand to hold up and let up on that play, but that's the rule.
And the real factor was the helmet coming off, hit to the head on the quarterback. That's going to get called every time.
1st and 10 from the 46-yard line of Rowan. Pistol set for the Redhawks. 2 receivers to the right. DiStefano carry. DiStefano, that's a hold. DiStefano to the 35-yard line. The 2 penalty markers come in. Josh Popper got a bear hug.
Popper knew it immediately as he came up. He was signaling for a flag and even gestured to the sideline that they're going backwards.
When it's DiStefano and Popper being, Popper being held as DiStefano is running by him, pretty obvious call when those are really the only guys in that space.
Especially him being tackled to the ground pretty much as he's trying to get the cut across.
4:55 left. 13-7 lead. Rowan up by 6. Great showing tonight by the fans here. Coach Richard Wacker Stadium. Certainly, you had to be a little unsure about what kind of crowd would come out tonight because of all of the hype in the Delaware Valley area for the Pope coming in and all of the adjustments made traffic-wise. The fans making it here nonetheless. Penalty marker down before the ball is snapped. There were 9 seconds left on the play clock. Looks like it's against the Redhawks.
I believe they're calling this a false start.
It's a delay of game.
Okay.
I'm not going to argue with him. Comedy of errors for Montclair State here in this drive. Somehow, it's almost near midfield despite a personal foul, a holding call, and a delay of game call all happening in the same drive. They have it. 1st and 24 from their 40. DiStefano bounces off left side. Still on his feet. DiStefano still moving. Gets to the 44. That's a gain of 4. 2nd and 20. And now because of all this, Bob, the clock starting to become a factor. 3:58 and ticking left to go.
And it's now up to Montclair to figure out what they want to do here. They have a long possession to get this next first down. 2 down, only 2nd down, still plenty of time to work with it. But how much time are they going to waste on the clock trying to figure out how to do it? Or do they put it in the hands of their defensemen to try to stop the Profs offense to give themselves a little bit more time as on their next drive?
2nd and 20. Bad snap to Davies. Quick throw, and the catch is made, but Williams goes next to nowhere. If anywhere, he went backwards. 3rd and long. It's a 3rd and 21 with the ball spotted at the 43 with 3:05 left to go.
41.
Tell you what, depending on what happens on this play here, I might be tempted to go for it. You're under 3 minutes now left to go in the game.
Not using timeouts either.
Empty backfield, trips near side. 3rd and 21 from the 43. Davies fires. Let's see if it's a catch. It is.
Rolling a catch because he was knocked out of bounds by the defensive player as he had possession. Even though he didn't actually touch the infield inbounds, he was pushed out of it in the air as he was coming down.
Daquan Bland Bennett with the catch. It's 4th and 7. This might be the game. 2:20 left. Ball at the Rowan 44. 5 receivers again. Davies gets a shotgun snap. Rolling out left, in trouble. Throws. It's caught right near the stick. And it looks like it's short. The Profs have held. He caught that ball right near the stick and did not get a favorable spot. First down, Rowan, with 2:07 remaining in the game.
And now you're looking at that possession. While they were pushing up, timeouts. Stopping the clock right there, maybe have gotten another possession in. But at the same time, if they push up the field and are able to get 7 points out of it, the less time for the Profs as well.
If you're joining us late, the big play in this game, a 92-yard reception by Russ Fortune. Took a quick swing pass from Dante Pickney and did the rest. 13-7. This game is not over as of yet, though. The Profs need a first down. I set 2 receivers, near side. Pitch play, Marcelin, and he gets clobbered at the 39-yard line. All 3 timeouts still held here by Montclair State. Not using them yet. 1:50 left, and now we will get a stop and a timeout called by the Red Hawks. 2 left to go.
And this is becoming a pivotal factor for Montclair. Their defense has been doing so well during this game, stopping the Profs being able to move up the field, especially in this second half. Even though there was that big play by the Profs being able to get that touchdown, 92 yards. If you're looking at every other drive, they haven't been able to get too far out of their way to get any type of first down and any type of movement. Trying to do the same thing here with hopefully good field position to try to bring themselves back.
Should Rowan hold on and win this game, this is going to be a bitter, bitter pill to swallow for Montclair State. I don't know that many of them had giving up a 92-yard touchdown reception to Russ Fortune on essentially what was a swing pass. That's going to be a tough one for them to deal with if they can't find a way to swing this game here.
And especially how well their defense has been playing. I mean, you looked at the numbers before this game, giving up quite a few points, and then having this.
2nd and 8 from the 39. Offset I. Handoff again. Marcelin. And Marcelin runs right into that Montclair State defense right at the line of scrimmage. It'll be a timeout again, and that'll set up a 3rd down and 8. There will be a fireworks session after this game is over, but the Profs hoping to send their fans into that session, a happy group with 1:42 left to go. Montclair State has 1 timeout left. Rowan has 2, and a 6-point lead.
Most likely the Profs once again are going to stay on the ground, force that last time out, and have the Red Hawks try to come back with no timeouts and any type of completion, running clock going with roughly they're going to have like 1:35 left to go.
And what do you think the play call here is on a 3rd and 8?
I would have to say keep it on the ground. You have to run the ball. Because if you don't force that final timeout, you might give the Redhawks the perfect amount of time that they need. If they can get a long pass, as they're setting up, they can call the timeout and set up as they need to.
So many negative things can happen here if you put this ball up. But let's see if the Profs will keep it on the ground here, Bob. One receiver to each side, 3rd and 8 from the 39, and movement up front. Ooh, boy.
That's exactly the opposite of what the Profs want.
False start. Steven Schwartz moved for Rowan.
3rd and 13.
Game coming down to the wire.
Just like last year, Rowan falling 20-16, had a couple of cracks down the stretch to take the lead, couldn't come up with it. Similar situation shaping up here in Glassboro. 3rd and 13 from the 34. Marcelin. Instead now they'll go with the inside handoff to Rover to try to catch Montclair State by surprise. And Rover gets decked at the 40. And it'll be a punt situation here for the Profs with 1:37 left to go. Montclair State using their final timeout.
And now comes another factor into play. Where do you punt this ball? Do you give them a chance to try to run it, giving them any more better field position, or do you kick it a little bit shallow, give them the field position, but make sure that there's no chance for a run back?
That's an interesting question. The gentleman perhaps who will be back to return this punt is responsible for the lone touchdown in this game, and that is John DeStefano.
One of those things that I'll refer to in my previous comment, football, the game of chess, about what to do in any situation.
If you're joining us late, Rowan led at the half, 3-0. Montclair State scoring a touchdown in the 3rd quarter, marking the first points given up by Rowan in the second half of a game this season. Profs counter with a 92-yard touchdown catch and a field goal by Tyler Knighton, 13-7. 1:37 left to go. 4th and 7 from the Rowan 40. Diedrichson on the punt, nearly blocked. It will bounce at the 35 and then take a great hop. That ball is rolling inside of the 15 and near the 10.
And a great punt right there. Totally takes away both opportunities that I had. It was a short punt that had a forward spin to it, able to get another 10, 15 yards.
And now, with 1:22 left to go, Rowan up by 6. Montclair State will have to drive 90 yards.
I don't think Rowan could have drew that play up any better than what just happened.
The Montclair State offense has been, well, inconsistent to say the least. 223 yards of total offense. It'll be a 5-receiver set on a 1st and 10 from the 10. Deflected and nearly intercepted on the first throw. That pass intended for Bland Bennett. And that'll bring about 2nd and 10. Maybe a better for Montclair State. He didn't catch that ball. It was right in the middle of the field.
And with no timeouts, I would have been having for a quick no huddle.
1:18 left. Play clock down to 10. 4 receivers. Nieves joining Davies in the backfield. Shotgun snap. Thrown left. Oh! Davies throws to Nieves, and he got planted by Eddie Davis.
Huge hit, and still also no completion. As he got that ball, was just drilled right into and knocked to the ground before he could even have a chance to even obtain possession of that ball.
3rd and 10. Well, this is 4-down territory without a doubt for Montclair State. They flipped the formation this time. Nieves off to the right of Davies. 3rd and 10 from the 10. Davies looking, loading up, running out of time. Throwing downfield, incomplete. 4th down. And now the game.
And Popper with the pressure, drawing them out. And once again, we were talking about this early on. We haven't seen it too much, the pressure that the defense gives. Now with all the energy, they are showing that once again.
Do or die time for Montclair State. 4th and 10 from their 10. 5 receiver set. Davies out of the shotgun. Gets the snap. Has some time. Throws downfield, and it is incomplete. Shaq Lee, the closest player to that football, almost picked it off. Instead, Rowan holds, and it looks like they will hold on for a 13-7 win with 58 seconds left to go.
Just a few knees here, and it is complete for the Profs. And once again, we were talking about both these teams. Huge game this was for them both. Montclair, they got to take away the fact that their defense came up today. Despite the penalties that were happening that really hindered their offense, their defense was able to shut down the Profs.
And with no timeouts left, all Dante Pickney needs to do is take a knee or two, and this one will be in the archives.
Meanwhile, looking at the other side, the Profs, best thing to take away this game is the tenacity of the team. Going into the half with a 3-0 lead, coming the first drive of Montclair back, they score a touchdown. You sit there and now you're down for the rest of the game, looking forward and being able to come back and have that type of drive, even though your offense was struggling to say the least, being able to convert on 3rd down.
27 seconds left to go. Play clock down to 9. One more knee should do it. And Dante Pickney takes a knee. And the Profs improve to 3-0 and 2-0 in the New Jersey Athletic Conference after a hard-fought, hard-earned 13-7 win over Montclair State University. The Redhawks dropped to 0-3 and now 0-2 in the NJAC, and they have quite a challenge ahead of them the rest of the way in New Jersey Athletic Conference play.